Hello, everybody. I'm going to be doing a PCA on a mental disorder that I call anxiety. Now, for me to begin with, I should kind of define anxiety for you. In my book, because I experience anxiety every day, anxiety is like this overwhelming feeling of something that's anticipated that's not actually going to happen. Well, it's like this excessive fear that about something that's not actually true or not gonna happen, whatever. And of course, there's a what do I call it? An extreme and a minimum. The extreme is your good old friend, the panic and anxiety attacks. And then the minimum is just mild anxiety or just minor things. So we're going to start on the one end of the spectrum. Your good old friend, panic and anxiety attacks. And those are very intense waves of fear that you don't know why you're so scared or why you're so on edge. You just are. And personally, my symptoms, everybody's symptoms are going to be different than others and all of that. My symptoms is sweating, shaking hands, like my hands start to shake, shortness of breath, rapid heartbeat, you're going, breathing heavily, breathing faster because my heart rate is faster, and it's definitely a wave. It's a ride. And then the low end, of course, is just that minor little heart drops to the tummy, and you're like, okay, I got those little butterflies in my stomach. I'll be okay. It's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. I'll be alright. I can breathe. As long as I can breathe, I'm good. And another thing is there's like a major spectrum, I think, when it comes to anxiety. Again, the mild end and the extreme end. And it fluctuates like all the time. You don't know which end you're gonna hit every day. And I feel like I wanted to make this video to encourage people to watch for these symptoms for anybody, not just me, anybody else that has the same issue I am dealing with. Like the panic attacks, the anxiety attacks, they happen every day, but they're not severe. They fluctuate up and down. And it's something that you kind of get through it. It's hard on some days and easier on others. And another thing I might be tackling, I still have to get tested for it, take surveys, but I've researched and done all that information. Depression is another possibility, which is where you just feel, you don't feel like you want to do nothing. You're lazy, you're tired, you're sad, you cry a lot, and you don't feel motivated to really do anything because you don't feel like you have a reason to do anything. And I have those too, but personally, mine are kind of like in little stages. They're like, okay, you get sad for like maybe 20 minutes here, then your anxiety comes over here, and then you're fine here. You know, it just kind of goes in a specific order, and it changes every day. So be very careful and don't judge people if they're going, because I do that a lot, and it could mean that I'm having nasty anxiety, and it could be meaning that I may need help. or if you see another person doing it, that means they need help and they need the support and love they need. Unfortunately, since not a lot of people know about my anxiety and my sadness or whatever you call it, not a lot of people will help me because not a lot of people know. Not a lot of people understand or know the symptoms or what I am even going through because I don't say anything. So I highly recommend, if you're going to get anything out of this video, this is the one thing you should be paying attention about, is that anxiety and comes in any form, whether it's mild or extreme, and you gotta watch for those things. I mean, you can't just see somebody breathing heavy, like, and assume they're okay. Yeah, assume that they're kind of having some kind of anxiety. You just don't know what. Just talk to them. And if you're like me, where you're very afraid of talking to people and you're not the conversation starter, then just go up to them and say, hey, are you okay? It's something I have thought about doing a few times, or wanting people to do for me, because I am just struggling to contain myself and all that. So I'm gonna quit rambling because it's getting a little on the late side right now, but the lesson that's gonna be taken from this video is, don't judge a book by its cover. Make sure you know the story before you assume that somebody's going psycho or something. Because anxiety, depression, and all that, they're real. They're not fake. They're very real, and it's something that everybody experiences in spectrum. But some people are just higher on the spectrum than others. Than normal people. Well, normal. There's no normal. But some people are just lower on the spectrum, which is what a lot of people are, because they can handle it. But us diagnosed at the doctor with anxiety are like on the higher end of the spectrum. So that means the anxiety is a lot more severe. So be very careful about how you view people like me and anybody else who is struggling, because it can mean the difference between them being alone and having someone by their side. So I'm gonna quit now. So thank you guys for everybody watching this PCA. I thought it was very important. It's very vital to know this stuff and information. And if you want more information, you got this one to talk to, or anybody else who knows a lot about it. Professionals, someone you trust, somebody who knows what it's like to experience it, anyone. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. This might suck, and I might be cringing behind the screen at whatever point, but I will see you guys later. Bye.